The cold steel of the gun barrel pressed against my temple like a lover's whisper gone wrong. And in that split second before the bang, I saw it all. My husband's face twisted in mock grief, his mother's greedy smirk from the shadows, and the $2 million check fluttering to the floor like a dead leaf. Blood, my blood, splattered the pristine white walls of our McMansion in suburban Chicago, and as the world faded to black, I cursed them both, vowing that if there was a hell, I'd drag them down with me. But death, that sneaky bastard, had other ideas. My eyes snapped open not in some pearly afterlife, but in the mirror of my old bathroom, staring back at a 32-year-old version of myself, the day after Dad's funeral, heart pounding like I'd just run a marathon from hell. I gasped, my hands flying to my face, fingers tracing the smooth skin that hadn't yet been etched with the fine lines of that final betrayal. The date on my phone, October 15th, 2023, confirmed it. I was back. Trung Sin. They call it in those old Vietnamese folktales Mom used to whisper before she bailed on us for a life in California with her yoga guru. Reborn. A second chance to claw my way out of the grave they dug for me. My name is Dakota Hayes. Well, Dakota Nguyen back when Dad was alive, before I hyphenated it for that charming prick I called a husband. And right now, in this powder blue bathroom with its artisanal tiles I'd picked out during our dream home Reno, I was alive, furious, and ready to burn it all down. The funeral had been a circus, the kind only Midwestern money can buy. Dad's casket, polished mahogany that cost more than most people's cars, sat in the center of St. Mary's Episcopal like a king on his throne. He'd built his fortune from nothing, a Vietnamese immigrant who washed dishes in Seattle, then flipped condos in the 90s boom, ending up with a real estate empire that spanned the Windy City. $2 million in liquid assets alone, tucked away in trusts and accounts he'd set up for family. Family. What a joke. I'd stood there in my black sheath dress, heels sinking into the plush carpet runner, shaking hands with cousins I hadn't seen since Ted holidays, while Tyler, my husband of 5 years, schooled his face into that perfect mask of supportive sorrow. His hand on my lower back, thumb tracing circles like he was comforting me. Lies. All of it. I splashed water on my face, the cool shock grounding me. The mirror fogged slightly, and for a heartbeat, I saw the ghost of my future self, bruised from Tyler's accidents, hollow-eyed from the gaslighting, the noose tightening as he and his harpy of a mother plotted to bleed me dry. In my first life, I'd been too trusting, too eager to play the good daughter, the devoted wife. I'd signed over power of attorney when Dad's cancer hit stage 4, thinking Tyler's business savvy would help navigate the legal mess. Big mistake. After the reading of the will, me as sole beneficiary, they'd swooped in with sob stories about family unity. Tyler, with his Ivy League MBA and that boyish grin that had shark teeth, convinced me to share the inheritance. Share. Huh. It started with loans to his mom's failing boutique in Evanston, then investments in his crypto schemes that vanished like smoke. By the time I woke up to the theft, they had me painted as the unstable one, hysterical widow, popping Xanax like candy. The gun? A suicide, to seal the narrative. Tyler pulling the trigger while his mom watched from the doorway, her pearls clutched like a rosary. Not this time. I straightened, wiping the fog away with a vengeance. The will was in my purse downstairs. The original Dad had slipped me the night before he coded in the hospital. For you, Coda, he'd rasped, his accent thick with pain meds. Build something real. Don't let wolves in sheep's clothing. I'd nodded, tears blurring the ink, and filed it away like a fool. Today, I'd dust it off. Today, I'd start the war. Downstairs, the house smelled of stale coffee and grief. Black brew from the Keurig, untouched mugs on the counter from last night's wake. Tyler was in the kitchen, scrolling his phone, that tousled blonde hair falling just so over his forehead. God, he was handsome in that preppy, frat boy way, lacrosse build, dimples that could disarm a jury. Morning, babe, he said without looking up, voice all honey. You okay? Rough night. I paused in the doorway, forcing a smile that didn't reach my eyes. In my old life, I'd crumbled here, spilling about the nightmare that felt too real. Not now. Yeah, just processing. I poured myself a cup, black as my mood, and leaned against the island, watching him. He was texting, quick thumbs, that secretive smirk. Probably his mom, Evelyn. The woman who'd birthed him into privilege, then clung like a barnacle, her suggestions, always laced with venom wrapped in maternal concern. The will crinkled in my purse on the hook by the door. I could pull it out now, wave it like a white flag of defiance. But no, too soon. They needed to think I was still the pliable Dakota, the one who'd majored in art history because it was pretty and married into stability. Let them dangle the bait. I'd bite, then snap the line. My phone buzzed, a text from my lawyer, Mia, the no-nonsense black woman who'd handled Dad's estate in the first go-round. Condolences. Meeting tomorrow to discuss assets? Perfect. I'd loop her in, get the paperwork ironclad before Tyler even sniffed the wind shift. Tyler set his phone down, sauntering over to wrap his arms around me from behind. His cologne, that crisp, expensive Creed, hit me like a gut punch, memories of passionate nights that masked control. We should talk about the future, you know? Your dad. He wanted us taken care of. His breath warm on my neck. Lies. Dad had hated him from the jump, called him slick boy. In private, warned me about men who loved money more than flesh. I twisted gently, facing him, my hand on his chest, feeling the steady thump of a heart that had no room for mine. Yeah, we will. But first, coffee. I pecked his cheek, light as a feather, and slipped away to the living room. Sunlight streamed through the bay windows, gilding the leather sectional we'd bought on credit. Outside, the neighborhood stirred, minivans humming to soccer practice, joggers and Lululemon pounding the sidewalks of this gated slice of Elmhurst heaven. Normal. Safe. Until I shattered it. The day blurred into motions, packing up Dad's effects from the condo downtown, a task Tyler volunteered for with feigned eagerness. I let him go alone, claiming a migraine. Truth? I needed space to plot. Curled on the couch with my laptop, I dove into the digital rabbit hole I'd ignored before. Tyler's emails, hacked with a password I'd guessed on a whim, his frat house alma mater easy. There it was, threads with Evelyn, dated months back. Mom, she's clueless. Once the wills read, we pivot to joint assets. Son, be careful. She's in Gwyn blood. Tricky. Tricky. The word ignited something feral in me. Dad's stories of Saigon orphans and American dreams flickered like old film reels. Survival meant striking first. By evening, Tyler returned, arms laden with boxes, Dad's golf clubs, his collection of vintage watches, a photo album I'd begged to keep. Heavy stuff, he grunted, setting them down. His shirt clung with sweat, sleeves rolled up to show that Rolex I'd gifted him for our anniversary. Bought with my trust fund. I bit my tongue. We ordered Thai, Pad CEW from that spot on Clark Street, a nod to Dad's favorites. Over plastic forks, Tyler broached it casual as weather. Babe, about the inheritance. Mom's been struggling. The shop's underwater since COVID. What if we helped? Split it 3 ways? For family. There it was. The hook. In my first life, I'd hesitated, then nodded through tears. It's what Dad would want. Bullshit. Now, I met his eyes, fork midway to my mouth. Split? Like equally. My voice steady, probing. He leaned in, elbows on the coffee table, that earnest tilt to his head. Yeah, 2 mils a lot for one person. We could invest, your name on everything, of course. But Mom, she's family too. And after what she did for us, the wedding, the down payment here. Evelyn, the ghost at every feast. She'd co-signed our mortgage, sure, but only after Dad's diagnosis made me reliable collateral. Her boutique? A vanity project for overpriced scarves and empowerment candles that no one bought. I'd seen the ledgers in my old life, laundered money from Tyler's side hustles, shady flips on foreclosed properties. I set my fork down slow. Let me think on it. Not a yes, not a no. His smile faltered, just a flicker, but I caught it. Good. Let the doubt creep in. That night, as he snored beside me, arm flung possessively over my waist, I lay awake, mind racing like a freight train. Revenge wasn't a word, it was a blueprint. Step 1. Secure the will with Mia, lock it in probate before they could contest. Step 2. Dig deeper into Tyler's finances, expose the cracks. Step 3. The controversial play, the one that'd make jaws drop from here to the Gold Coast. I'd frame it as generosity, but twist the knife. Donate half to a cause Dad loved. Immigrant scholarships through his foundation. Publicly. Irrevocably. Watch Evelyn's face crumple when the checks bounce to her instead. But secrets have a way of bubbling up. As dawn crept in, my phone lit with a notification. An old email from Dad, forwarded in haste before he died. Coda, read this. Tyler's not who you think. Attached, a PDF, grainy scans of documents. Property deeds in Tyler's name, but signatures. Mine. Forged. And below, a police report from 5 years back. A bar fight in Wrigleyville, assault charges dropped after witnesses recanted. Tyler's handiwork. The victim, a former business partner, now vanished from records. My blood ran cold. This wasn't just greed, it was rot. Deep, criminal rot. The betrayal sliced fresh. Dad had known, tried to warn me, but pride kept me blind. Now, reborn, I'd wield it like a blade. The next morning, Mia's office in the Loop smelled of leather and old money, polished oak panels, a view of the bean glinting under October's sun. She hugged me tight, her braids swinging. Girl, you look like hell. Grief's a bitch. Worse than that. I slid the will across her desk, then the PDF. Her brows arched as she scanned. Forgery? Dakota, this is felony territory. And the assault, why didn't you say? Blind. Stupid. I shrugged. But inside, resolve hardened. Now, I want it airtight. Probate fast, trusts unbreakable. And investigate. Quietly. Mia nodded, all business. We'll need PIs. Costly, but worth it. You sure? This could torture marriage. Marriage. The word tasted like ash. That's the point. Back home, Tyler was on a call in his study. Door cracked, voice low. Yeah, Mom. She's wavering. Give it time. I hovered. Unseen, heart hammering. Time. They had none left. Dinner was tense, the air thick as fog off Lake Michigan. Tyler pushed his salmon, wild-caught, $40 a pound, and tried charm. Babe, I talked to Mom. She doesn't want a dime unless you're good with it. But think about the legacy. Your dad's hard work, shared. Legacy. The word hung, mocking. I sipped my Pinot, swirling the legs like blood in a vial. Actually, I have an idea. His eyes lit. Hooks set. Dad always talked about giving back. What if we earmark half for his foundation? Scholarships for kids like him. Immigrants starting over. Tyler's fork paused. Half. That's generous. But Mom isn't part of Dad's legacy. I smiled, sweet as pie. We could do the rest as a family pot. Investments, sure. But the foundation first. Public announcement at the next board meeting. What do you say? He recovered quick, that salesman grin snapping back. Sounds perfect. You're amazing, Dakota. Liar. I clinked my glass to his, the chime a death knell. Weeks bled into a frenzy. The foundation, Nguyen New Horizons, met in a sleek conference room overlooking the Chicago River, all glass and steel ambition. I stood at the podium, black pantsuit tailored sharp, hair in a fierce bob that said, "Don't fuck with me." Board members, mostly Dad's old cronies, Vietnamese aunties in silk Aodaeus and white-collar suits, nodded approval as I unveiled the plan. $1 million seed, irrevocable, for 100 scholarships. Cameras from the Tribune clicked. I tipped them off. Front page gold. Heiress honors father's dream. Tyler's seat beside me was empty. Flew, he'd texted. Coward. But Evelyn showed. Front row, her Botox smile cracking like porcelain when the numbers hit. Post-speech, she cornered me in the lobby, perfume cloying as regret. Dakota, dear, this is unexpected. Tyler said the funds were flexible. Flexible? I tilted my head, innocent. Oh, you mean for the boutique? That's coming from our joint savings, Evelyn. This is Dad's money. Pure. Her eyes narrowed, that patrician nose flaring. You're making a mistake. Family sticks together. Family. I stepped closer, voice a whisper. Like how you stuck Tyler's signature on my checks. Or buried that assault charge with Daddy's lawyer friends. She blanched, pearls twisting in her fist. You don't know what you're. I know enough. The elevator dinged, my escape. As doors closed on her stunned face, triumph surged. First blood. But Tyler wasn't idle. That night, he came home late, reeking of bourbon and rage. Rare slip in the facade. What the hell, Dakota? $1 million? Without talking. I lounged on the couch, wine in hand, Netflix droning some true crime doc. We talked. You said perfect. Publicly. Now Mom's humiliated. The shop's closing. Repossessed tomorrow if we don't wire. Poor Evelyn. I sipped, savoring. Wire from what? Our savings are tapped from your investments. He paced, Ty Askew, that golden boy polish fraying. Exactly. We need the inheritance. All of it. Ah, the mask slipped. I set my glass down, rising slow. Or what, Tyler? You'll accident me again? Stage another suicide. He froze, color draining. What are you? The gun. The will you shredded. I remember. The words hung, a guillotine blade. His eyes darted. To the door, the kitchen knife block. Panic. Pure. You need help. He stammered, backing up. This grief, it's messing with you. Grief. I laughed, low and bitter. Try clarity. Mia's got the forgeries. PI's on your trail. That missing partner? The one who fell off the boat in Lake Michigan? Loose lips sink ships, hubby. He lunged then, not for me, but the phone on the counter. I was faster, reborn reflexes sharp as a switchblade. My hand clamped his wrist, twisting just enough to drop him to his knees. Don't. For a heartbeat. We locked eyes, stranger to stranger. Then he crumpled, sobbing like a child. Dakota, please. I love you. It was Mom, she pushed. The money, the pressure. Love. The word curdled. But doubt flickered. Was it all her? In my old life, I'd believed him at the end, his tears washing away the red flags. Now, I released him, stepping back. Prove it. Walk away. Divorce papers on the table tomorrow. You get nothing. She gets nothing. He nodded, broken. Okay. Okay. I slept alone that night, door locked, .38 from Dad's safe under my pillow. Dawn brought silence. No Tyler, just a note. Gone to Mom's. Need time. Love, T-love. Cute. Mia called mid-morning. Jackpot. Tyler's got shell companies, laundering through the boutique. That assault? Self-defense my ass. Victim ID'd him before vanishing. Feds will love this. Press charges. Your call. But the twist, Evelyn's the architect. Emails tie her to the forgery ring. Old money covering tracks. Evelyn. The queen pin and pearls. It fit. Her suggestions, always laced with threats. Her disdain for my half-breed heritage masked as concern. Dad's warning echoed. Wolves. I drove to her boutique that afternoon, the bell tinkling like a funeral chime. Empty racks, going out of business signs curling at edges. She emerged from the back, impeccable in cashmere, but eyes red-rimmed. Dakota. No deer this time. Come to gloat. To end it. I tossed a folder on the counter, printouts from Mia. Signed the confession. Full restitution, or the headlines scream. Heiress's MIL ran embezzlement scam. She scanned, lips thinning. You think you're better? Your father's dirt, smuggling watches through 90s ports. I know things. Threats. Classic. But I leaned in, voice steel. Publish it. See who believes the bitter XMIL over the grieving daughter. A beat. Sign, Evelyn. Or Tyler pays too. Her hand trembled on the pen, then snapped it down, ink bleeding. You win. Did I? As I left, sun dipping low over shuttered storefronts, a hollow ache bloomed. Victory tasted like ash. The climax hit 2 weeks later, a stormy November eve. Tyler showed at the house unannounced, rain slicked, eyes wild. Mom confessed. It's over. Can we talk? Against better judgment. Or maybe the ghost of old love. I let him in. We sat in the kitchen, thunder rumbling like God's own fury. He spilled it all. Evelyn's debts from a bad divorce, her grip tightening post-Dad's diagnosis. She made me forge the first check. Said it was borrowing. Then the partner. He found out, threatened to talk. The boat. Accident, she swore. Lies layered on lies. But his tears, real this time? I loved you, Dakota. Still do. The controversial choice loomed, the one that'd haunt op-eds from Chicago to D.C. Mercy or justice? I could call Mia, hand him to the wolves. Or twist the knife deeper. One chance. Testify against her. Full immunity deal. Then disappear. No alimony, no contact. He nodded, desperate. Anything. But as he rose to leave, phone buzzing in his pocket. Evelyn's number. I saw the flicker. Betrayal's echo. Wait. I grabbed his arm, yanking the phone. Text unread. Do it tonight. She's alone. The gun was in my hand before thought caught up. Dad's .38. Cold comfort. Tyler's face shifted, mask gone. You should have stayed dead. The shot echoed, thunder's twin. Not fatal, knee, shattering bone. He crumpled, screaming. Sirens wailed distant. I dialed 911 mid-draw, Mia's line open on speaker. Cops swarmed. Evelyn arrested at dawn, confession coerced? No, her son's testimony sealed it. Trading freedom for truth. Headlines blared. Inheritance heist foiled by widow's gambit. Controversial? Hell yes. Me, armed and unapologetic, a vigilante heiress in talk radio rants. Feminist icon to some, loose cannon to others. In the end, the twist, happy? Tragic? As I stood on the porch, snow flurrying like confetti from hell, foundation checks mailing to wide-eyed kids in threadbare coats, I felt free. Tyler, in a cell awaiting trial, sent one letter. You were always the strong one. Evelyn, stripped of everything, faded to a nursing home haze. Me? I sold the McMansion, bought a loft in Pilsen, vibrant, gritty, alive with murals and faux joints. Dated a barista with tattoos and no secrets. Built Dad's legacy brick by brick. Reborn, not unbroken, but remade. And if ghosts whispered at night, I'd whisper back, game over. The fallout from the foundation announcement rippled like a stone in the Chicago River. Smooth surface, but undercurrents pulling hard. By Monday, my inbox overflowed. Congrats from old college pals in New York, side eyes from Tyler's country club crowd in the North Shore burbs. Bold move, Dakota, one email read from his golf buddy, laced with that passive-aggressive backhand. Bold. Damn right. In my first life, I doled out the cash like candy at Halloween, watching it vanish into their black hole of needs. Now, every scholarship kid got a handwritten note from me. Your dad built this. Now you build more. Cathartic? Understatement. But Tyler, he simmered. Our evenings turned to minefields, his charm cracking into barbs. You're changing, babe. This isn't you. The angry, suspicious version. We'd argue over dishes, his voice rising just shy of shouts, mine steady as Lake Superior ice. I documented it all, voice memos on my phone, timestamps precise. Evidence. In the old timeline, those fights proved my instability. Cops at the door after a domestic disturbance he called in. Gaslit to hell. One night, post another round. Him slamming cabinets, me locking the bedroom. I scrolled Reddit on incognito, searching signs of financial abuse. Threads lit up like Christmas. Women sharing stories of husbands siphoning accounts. Moms-in-law playing puppeteer. One post gutted me. He said it was for us. Now I'm couch surfing with toddlers. I bookmarked it, resolved stealing. My turn to puppeteer. Mia's PI report landed Thursday. A manila brick in my P.O. box. Discreet. Off-site. Coffee at a dive on Halstead. Steam curling from styrofoam cups. She slid it over. Read the red tabs first. Tyler's got a girlfriend. Intern at his firm. 24. Fresh out of Northwestern. Texts for months. Heart emojis. Hotel bookings in Milwaukee. Jealousy? Nah. Just fuel. And Evelyn? Bank records tie her to a loan shark. Wisconsin plates, but Chicago drops. The boutique's front for collections. Your hubby's complicit. Signatures match the forgeries. Collections. The word conjured goons in tracksuits, knuckles cracking. But Evelyn. Prim, PDA president at the prep school, hosting wine tastings for empowered women. The hypocrisy burned. Press. Mia shook her head. Not yet. Build the case. DA's office owes me a favor. Quiet meet next week. I nodded, pocketing the drive. Outside, wind whipped off the L tracks, carrying shouts from commuters. Freedom tasted like diesel and rain, raw real. Home, Tyler waited with takeout, sushi from that overpriced spot in River North, his apology ritual. Missed you today. He pecked my cheek, unpacking rolls like peace offerings. But his eyes darted to my purse, where the drive hid. We ate on the patio, heaters humming against the chill, city lights twinkling like distant stars. The foundation thing. It's great. He ventured, wasabi sharp. But Mom's spiraling. Called me crying. Says the bank's seizing inventory tomorrow. Inventory. Scarves and soy candles, yeah. I speared a piece of tuna, slow. Tough. Maybe she diversifies? Online sales. He snorted, chopsticks clacking. At 68? Come on, Dakota. A little help. Say, $50K bridge loan. From the inheritance pot. There it was again, the drip of entitlement. In my past life, I'd wired it that night, fingers numb on the bank app. Now, I met his gaze, fork glinting under string lights. The pot's frozen till probate. Mia's orders. Mia's a shark. His jaw tightened, dimples gone rogue. Protecting your interests. Screw that. We're married. Community property. Community. The myth he'd sold me on our wedding night. Vows exchanged under magnolias in Savannah. His idea, romantic escape. I'd footed half the bill, blind to the ledger. Actually, I said, voice silk over gravel. Prenup says otherwise. Dad's insistence. He paled, just a shade. Prenup? We burned that. Burned. The memory hit. Our ceremony. Him tossing a signed copy into the fireplace, champagne flutes clinking. Symbolic. Staged. Copies exist, Tyler. With Mia. Silence stretched, taut as piano wire. Thunder grumbled distant, promising storm. He pushed back his chair, abrupt. You're paranoid. Grief's twisting you. Twisting. I rose too, plates rattling. Like how you twisted my signature on the condo flip last year. The one that lost $200K. His eyes widened, fish out of water. What the? Pie. Long story. I smiled feral. But hey, community property, right? Let's audit everything. Joint accounts, statements. Tomorrow. He stormed inside, doors slamming like punctuation. I stayed out, rain starting to patter, washing the sushi's salt from my skin. Checkmate loomed, but chess masters flip boards when cornered. Friday dawned gray, fog blanketing Elmhurst like a shroud. Tyler left early, client breakfast, but not before I slipped a tracker in his BMW's OBD port. Tech from an online forum, $20 on Amazon. Amateur hour, but effective. App pinged. Heading north, toward Evanston. Evelyn's boutique. Of course. I tailed at distance, my old Civic blending with traffic, unassuming, like me once was. Parked 2 blocks over, hood up against drizzle, I watched. He arrived 9:15, striding in like a knight to the rescue. Through the window, silhouettes argued, her gestures sharp, his hands placating. My phone buzzed, Mia. DA meet set for Tuesday. Bring heat. Heat. The drive, plus a new find, Tyler's browser history, scrubbed but cached, searches for undetectable poisons, staging suicide evidence. Chills raced my spine. They'd planned it months out, post-will reading. Evelyn's idea, no doubt, her accidents with Tyler's dad, the heart attack that left her widowed rich. Enough. I circled the block, mind-churning scenarios. Confront now? No. Too messy, no witnesses. Wait for the audit, let the numbers scream. But fate, that meddling bitch, intervened. As I looped back, Tyler emerged, face thunderous, phone to ear. Thought told you, she's onto us. We accelerate. Us. Confirmation. I ducked into an alley, heart slamming. Accelerate to what? The gun in my glove box felt heavier, Dad's voice echoing. Protect yourself, Coda. Blood don't always mean family. Evening brought the storm proper. Sheets of rain lashing windows, power flickering like a bad omen. Tyler returned soaked, shedding coat with a sigh. Rough day. I poured scotch, top shelf, his favorite, handing it over with a true smile. Tell me. He hesitated, then deflated onto the sectional, ice clinking. Mom's desperate. Shark's calling in the loan, $100K due Monday. If not. Shark. Plural now? What happens? His swallow was audible. They? Hurt people. Me, her. Us. Us. The hook sunk deep. In the old life, this sob story melted me. Wired the cash at 2 a.m., hands shaking. Now, I sat beside him, close enough to smell the rain on wool. Then pay. Sell the Rolex, the boat slip. Boat's in Mom's name. Like, I said joint. Whatever. Point is, my money stays mine. He surged up, glass shattering on tile. Your money? We're in this together. 5 years, Dakota. I gave up my career for you, moved here. Gave up. Laughter bubbled, sharp. You hated the firm, the commute. This was your dream, flexible schedule to support me. Air quotes heavy. He loomed, veins bulging in his neck. Support? While you finger paint in that studio, wasting your degree. Art. My escape, canvases stacked in the garage, bold abstracts of Chicago skylines, unsold but soul-soothing. Better than forging docs for mommy's debts. The slap came fast, open palm, stinging cheek. Time froze. In my past, I'd recoiled, apologized. Now, I grabbed his wrist mid-swing back, nails digging. Touch me again, and it's assault charges. With photos. He yanked free, horror dawning. Dakota, out. Calm, lethal. Couch. Or hotel. Your call. He chose couch, slinking off like a whipped dog. I iced my cheek in the bathroom, mirror mocking the red bloom. Evidence. Snap a pic. Timestamp. The war escalated. Saturday, I hit the studio, rented space in an old warehouse in Logan Square, graffiti walls and espresso machines humming. Easel up, I slashed cadmium red across canvas, rage and pigment. Hours blurred, phone silenced. Until Mia's text. Urgent. Evelyn Shark? Local crew, tied to Tyler's old frat. Meet tomorrow? Frat. The ivy web tightening. I packed up, driving home through hipster streets, tattoo parlors, food trucks slinging tacos al pastor. Home glowed warm, but inside. Tyler gone, note on counter, at mom's. Need space. Love you. Love. The word mocked as I rifled his desk, drawers unlocked in haste. Bingo. Ledger, handwritten, columns of loans to Evelyn, outflows to EH. Her initials. And tucked in back, a photo. Him and the intern, arms tangled at a Bears game, dates matching. Heartache? Flicker, then gone. Replaced by fire. Sunday brunch with Mia at a spot in Wicker Park. Avocado toast. Bottomless mimosas masking the grit. She laid it out. Shark's name, Vinny the Finn Russo, mid-level enforcer for a remnant outfit family, laundering through boutiques like Evelyn's. Tyler's in deep, co-signing markers. Controversial move, Mia said, fork poised. We tipped the feds anonymously. Watch them unravel. Feds. The nuclear option, warrants, indictments, lives upended. Do it. As I left, rain cleared to blue skies, a rare Chicago gift. But my phone pinged, unknown number. Voicemail, Tyler's voice, strained. Dakota, don't do anything rash. Mom's meeting Vinny tonight. 8 p.m., docks by Navy Pier. Come alone. Please. Trap or plea? The controversial decision loomed. Ride to the rescue, or let karma capsize them. I chose the gun, loaded. Drove downtown, city pulsing with weekend energy, tourists snapping selfies by the bean, oblivious. Docks reeked of fish and diesel, shadows long under sodium lights. There, Evelyn's Mercedes, Tyler leaning on hood, cigarette glowing. I parked distant, approaching soft. Here. He spun, relief warring fear. You came. Where's she? Inside with Vinny. Negotiating. Lie. No boat, just warehouse hulks. We talked low, him begging forgiveness, me probing cracks. Why the intern? Loneliness. You were always with your dad, the cancer. Blame shift, classic. Then headlights, black SUV, rumbling in. Doors opened. Vinny, barrel-chested in silk shirt, two goons flanking. Evelyn emerged from the murk, face pale. Son. Vinny's laugh barked. Payment, Mrs. H. Or collateral. Tyler's hand in mine, icy. We got it. Just. My move. Controversial as hell. I stepped forward, voice amplified by adrenaline. Actually, Vinny, feds are en route. Mic'd up. Bluff, but Mia's DA favor hummed in my earpiece, real time. Chaos erupted. Vinny cursing Italian, goons drawing, Tyler shoving me behind. Shots cracked, warning pops into air. I fired back, .38 barking, shattering a taillight. Sirens wailed, blues closing fast. In the melee, Evelyn bolted, heels snapping on concrete. Tyler tackled a goon, heroic or desperate. Vinny lunged for me, but cuffs clicked, feds swarming, vests gleaming. Aftermath, arrests, statements till dawn at the precinct, coffee bitter as truth. Tyler, cuffed but released on his word, met my eyes across the bullpen. You saved us. Us. Still clinging. Saved yourself. Testify. He nodded, broken. But the twist brewed in shadows. Evelyn, cornered in interrogation, flipped, not on Vinny, but me. Dakota set it up. Revenge plot. Tapes doctored? No. Her desperation, grasping at straws. Headlines twisted. Heiress and mob sting? Inheritance feud turns deadly. Controversy exploded. Pundits on Fox calling me cunning Asian temptress. CNN hailing whistleblower wife. Me? I lawyered up, foundation funds flowing untouched. Winter deepened, snow blanketing sins. Tyler moved out, apartment in Lincoln Park, temporary. Evelyn, out on bail, vanished to a cousin's in Florida. Vinny sang like a canary, outfit threads unraveling. One night, alone in the McMansion's echo, I poured scotch, toasting Dad's photo. We did it. But the phone rang. Tyler's number. Dakota. Mom's gone. Overdose. Pills. Gone. The harpy silenced. Grief? For her, no. For him, the boy I'd loved once, a pang. Funeral, he whispered. You handle it. Click. Spring thawed the ice, but not my core. I sold paintings. One fetched $5K at a Bucktown gallery, immigrant stories in oil. Dated casually. A chef with a laugh like thunder, no secrets. The real twist? Tyler's trial. He took the deal, testified. Evelyn's puppet no more. Sentenced light. Probation, restitution. Last I saw him, courthouse steps, suit rumpled. I get it now. You were always ahead. Lesson learned. I walked away, heels clicking like victory marches. Happy ending? For me. Yes, reborn, unchained. The $1 mill built lives, the other funded mine. Tragic for them. Poetic justice. In America's grind, we all pay tolls. Mine, worth every cent. Summer heat baked Chicago into a skillet, humidity clinging like regret as I navigated the probate minefield. Mia's office became my second home. Endless meetings with trustees, accountants poring over Dad's labyrinth of accounts. It's watertight, she'd assure, but I saw the cracks. Tyler's name on a joint IRA, Evelyn's gifts that smelled like liens. Every signature felt like defusing a bomb, my hand steady from the grave's lessons. Publicly, I played the grieving heiress. Interviews with WBZ, soft focus pieces on resilient women of color in business. Inside, paranoia gnawed. Shadows in my rear view. Wrong numbers on caller ID. Was it Vinny's crew, unfinished business? Or Tyler, testing waters? One sweltering July afternoon, the PI called, gruff voice, ex-cop timbre. Ms. Hayes? Got a tail on your XML. Florida ain't retirement. She's meeting suits. Real estate flips, same MO as your hubby's old scams. Suits. Her web spun south. Track it. Cost be damned. Dad's money bought clarity. Evenings, I buried in the foundation, visiting scholarship kids at community colleges, their eyes wide with possibility. Little Mia, named for my lawyer, coincidence, gripped my hand at a UIC orientation. Ms. Dakota, your dad's story. It's mine now. Immigrant mom, single, scrubbing floors. I hugged her tight, throat burning. This was the real inheritance. Ripples, not riches. But Tyler haunted the edges. Text sporadic. Miss you. Therapy's helping. Blocked. Then unblocked for the practical. Divorce papers? Let's make it amicable. Amicable. After the slap, the gun, the docs? I forwarded to Mia. Counter with full disclosure. All assets frozen till trial. His response, radio silence. Good. August brought the DA meat, sterile conference room in the Dirksen, feds and off-racks, coffee from a machine that tasted like regret. Lead agent, Ramirez, lean Latino with a mustache like a 70s cop show, laid out the case. RICO charges pending on Vinny's outfit, Evelyn as facilitator, Tyler as associate. Associate? I echoed, arms crossed. He pulled the trigger on my forgery. And the end. Ramirez leaned in, eyes kind but steel. Self-defense ruling stands. Your call to 911 saved it. But testimony? Nail M. Controversial crossroads. Rat out Tyler full, risk his wrath? Or soft pedal by piece? Full. Everything. Papers shuffled, deals inked. As I left, sun glaring off the courthouse lions, a news van ambushed, mic in face. Dakota Hayes. Is it true you're cooperating with feds against your own family? Family. The word soured. Justice isn't about blood. It's about right. Viral by dinner. Fox clips looping my fiery, quote, Twitter storms of Eris Hero versus Bitter X. Controversy crested. Death threats pinged my inbox. Trolls dredging mom's abandonment for crazy jeans jabs. I hired security, discreet, ex-military shadowing my runs along the lakefront. Fall foliage turned fiery as the scrutiny. Foundation gala at the Art Institute. Black tie, donors in tuxes, sipping view. I wore red silk, slit high. Power, not seduction. Speech nailed. From dishwasher to dreamer, my father taught us. Build bridges, not walls. Applause thundered, checks poured in. Tyler crashed it. Uninvited, suit crisp, eyes hollow. Slipped past security, old charm working overtime. Found me at the bar, champagne flute trembling. Dakota. Stunning. Leave. Quiet. Venomous. Please. 5 minutes. He glanced at Gawker's. Phone's out. Not here. Outside. Against sanity, I followed, to the garden terrace, Picasso sculptures looming like judges. Wind off Michigan whipped my dress. His tie fluttered loose. I testified today. Against Mom. Full confession, the forgeries, the partner. Even. The gun plan. The admission hung, heavy as humidity. Why tell me? Closure. He stepped closer, cologne stirring ghosts. I was weak. She controlled everything, since Dad died. The money, the moves. You were collateral. Collateral. Rage flared hot. And the intern? Therapy. Therapy's real. Her. Mistake. His hand reached. I jerked back. Mistake. Echoed, bitter. Like marrying me? No. Desperate. I love you. That night on the docks. You saw me. The real me. Real. The boy from Yale Mixers. Poetry quotes over cheap wine. Buried under Evelyn's shadow. Doubt crept. Treacherous. Prove it. Walk away clean. No appeals, no contact. He nodded, tears tracking. Deal. Kiss then, soft, farewell. Or fool's errand. I pulled back first, heels clicking retreat. Inside, Gala swirled on. Outside, he vanished into night. October chilled the air, leaves crunching underfoot as probate finalized. $2 mill mine, half to foundation, half invested smart. Index funds, green energy startups Dad would have championed. I bought out Tyler's share of the house, flipping it to a young family. Vietnamese couple, beaming at closing. New start, the wife said. Echoed my own. But fractures spiderwebbed. Evelyn's trial loomed. Federal court, RICO spectacle. Subpoena arrived. My testimony required. Mia prepped me. Stick to facts. No emotion. Facts. The will tampering, the slap, the doc's bluff. Emotion? The betrayal's ache, raw. Courtroom smelled of polish and tension. November gray seeping through windows. Evelyn at defense table, pearls gone, hair limp. Tyler, witness stand, voice cracking as he detailed her web. She forged first, my hand guided, but her orders. Her glare could curdle milk. Cross-exam. Lies, Your Honor. My son. Coerced by that woman. Finger jabbing my direction. Gallery gasped. Judge banged gavel. My turn. Stand. Oath. Eyes on Ramirez. Facts flowed. Cold. Precise. Then her lawyer. Ms. Hayes, isn't this revenge? Inheritance grudge. Justice, I countered. Your client stole my father's legacy. Tried to steal my life. Jury deliberated 2 days. Thanksgiving turkey cold on plates citywide. Verdict. Guilty, 15 years. Evelyn's wail echoed as marshals cuffed her. Tyler, gallery rear, met my gaze. Gratitude? Resentment? Post-trial buzz. Book deals pitched, Lifetime movie whispers. I declined, funneling attention to the foundation. But Tyler cornered me in the hall, post-verdict chaos. It's done. Now us. Us. The ghost persisted. No us. Sign the papers. Tomorrow. Hesitant. Dinner? Celebrate. Celebrate. Controversial urge tugged. One last night. Closure's kiss. One drink. Public. Neutral. The gauge. Historic loop spot. Dark wood and craft cocktails. Dim lights. Jazz humming low. He arrived punctual. Suit sans tie. Vulnerable. Manhattan's ordered. Talk skirted edges. Therapy breakthroughs. My paintings selling. Then, I kept the photo. Us in Savannah. He slid it across. Wedding day, my laugh genuine, his arm tight. Memory lanced. Burn it. He didn't. Instead, moved to New York with me. Fresh start. I got a job, consulting, clean. New York. Escape to skyscrapers, away from Chicago's ghosts. Tempting, traitorous. No, my life's here. His hand covered mine, warm, familiar. Please. I see now you were right. Stronger. The pull ward, mercy's controversial edge. Lean in, or sever. Headlights flashed outside. My security, prompt. I withdrew. Goodbye, Tyler. Outside, rain-slicked streets. He followed, pleading. Dakota. Block away, alley shadow. Figure lunged, ski mask, blade glinting. Vinny's remnant? Or Evelyn's last play? Adrenaline surged. I dodged, heel snapping wrist. .38 drawn, empty click. Jammed. Tyler tackled him. Grunts, fists flying. Security swarmed, cuffs clicking. Assailant. Low-level thug, hired by Evelyn's Florida friends. Hospital wait, Tyler stitched, 5 gashes. For you, he murmured, morphine slurred. Gratitude swelled, tangled. Fool. Discharged on, I drove him home. His apartment, sterile white. Couch crash, morning coffee brewed awkward. Thanks, he said, bandaged hand awkward on mug. Don't. But softness crept. Heal. Then go. He didn't. Days blurred. Nursing wounds. Talks deepening. Laughter slipped in, old rhythms. Controversial? Sleeping over. His bed familiar hollow filled. But fractures re-emerged. His phone buzzed. In turn, miss you. New York trip? Ignored, but seed planted. Thanksgiving alone. Foundation dinner for scholars. Tables groaning turkey. Lumpia. Toasts to dad. Mia at my side. Whispering. You good? Good. Lie. Heart tug duel. December snow fell fat flakes as I confronted Tyler. His place, tree half-strung. The texts. Ended. He flushed. Deleted. Over. Proof? Hacked his email. Old habit. Thread. She's toxic now. Need out. To the intern. Rage. Reborn fiercer. Toxic? After all. Confrontation exploded. Yells echoing off brick. You think I'm fixed? Some redemption arc? He sneered. You're obsessed. Foundation feds. No room for us. Us was illusion. Door slammed. I fled to snow-whitened streets. Christmas Eve. Mia's holiday party. Eggnog spiked. Carol's tinny. Buzzed, I confessed. Almost fell back. She hugged fierce. Don't. You're free. Free. Word anchored. New Year dawned crisp. Tyler's plea. One chance. Deleted. The Foundation's winter gala. Sold out. Millennium Park twinkling. Speech prepped. Resilience isn't solo. It's shared. But mid-event, alert. Tyler arrested. Bail jumping. Old marker called. At precinct, he begged through bars. Help me. For old times. Controversial pinnacle. Bail him out. Risk entanglement? Or let's sink. I walked away. Old times dead. Spring bloomed. His trial loomed. Probation revoked. Sentence. 3 years. Letter from cell. You were right. Grow from this. I burned it. Ashes to wind off the lake. Summer again. Cycle vicious. Foundation thrived. I dated steady. A curator with quiet eyes. No ghosts. But the twist whispered. Evelyn's appeal, based on coerced testimony. Tyler's recant, prison penned. Court again, sweltering, her eyes manic. He lied for her. Jury saw through, denied. But damage, Tyler's addendum, blaming me. Final confrontation, prison visit, glass partition cold. Why? Truth, he said hollow. You broke me. Broke. Mirror to my grave. You broke first. Hung up. Last. Happy. Foundation's a beacon. I'm whole. Canvas to canvas. Tragic echo in his eyes. Karma's bite. America's tense dance. We all fracture, but some rebuild sharper. Autumn winds howled through the city like unresolved screams as Evelyn's appeal crumbled to dust in the courts. By Labor Day, she was shipped to Alderson, federal women's camp in West Virginia. Country club, they called it. But for her, exile in khaki scrubs. No pearls, no plots. I followed the news in snippets. Chicago Sun-Times obits for her boutique. Society pages snarking her fall from grace. Schadenfreude? A sip, then spat. Revenge's aftertaste soured quick. Tyler's stint in Cook County loomed shorter. Good behavior shaved months, but letters piled. Pleas morphing to rants. You're the villain now, Dakota. Destroyed a family. Family. His, not mine. I forwarded to Mia for the shredder, but one line stuck. The money was never the point. Control was. Control. The thread pulling all. Evelyn's grip, his facade, my blindness. Post-appeal, I dove deeper into Dad's archives. Boxes from the condo, yellowed ledgers from his early flips. Tucked in a false bottom drawer, letters from Mom, post-divorce. Coda, forgive the run. Yoga's bullshit, miss your fire. Fire. I'd banked it for Tyler's hearth. No more. September equinox brought the Foundation's biggest push. A scholarship summit at McCormick Place. 500 kids, panels on entrepreneurship, keynote by a Vietnamese-American tech CEO. I emceed, mic hot in hand, spotlights blinding. Your stories aren't footnotes. I boomed, voice carrying to the rafters. There the rewrite. Applause crashed. Donors pledged double. Post-event, a teen approached, gangly, braces gleaming. Ms. Hayes, my mom's like your dad. Cleaned houses, now owns one. Because of you. Because of me. The echo healed cracks I didn't know bled. But reckoning circled. Vinny's trial ballooned. Rico Webb snaring Pauls, realtors, even a North Shore alderman who'd consulted on Tyler's flips. Subpoena 2. My doc's testimony, refreshed. Courtroom redux. But this time spectator, Ramirez nodding from prosecution table. Vinny, bulked in orange, glared daggers as I recounted the bluff, the shots. She set us up, he bellowed on cross. Jury didn't buy. Guilty, 20 years. Outside, press swarm. Dakota, any regrets? Taking down the mob. Regrets for the week. Flashbulbs popped. I vanished into a waiting Uber, city blurring to streaks. October's chill deepened as Tyler's release neared. Parole board merciful, community service tacked on. Mia warned. Restraining order? He's volatile. Volatile. The slap's ghost stung phantom. Ready. But he beat me to it. Showed at the house. Now mine solo. Pumpkins grinning from the stoop. Security flagged him blocks out. I met him at the gate. Driveway gravel crunching under boots. What? Out tomorrow. Wanted to. Apologize. In person. Haggard. Prison ink on knuckles, eyes sunken. Apologize. The word dangled, controversial bait. Mail it. Please. Voice cracked. One coffee. Closure. Closure. The siren's call. Against me is text. Don't. I nodded. Starbucks. Public. Noon. The chains hum. Espresso grind. Chatter white noise. Set the stage. He arrived early. Paper cup steaming. Seat by the window. You look good. Life without chains. I sipped black. No frills. He nodded. Stirring sugar endless. Therapy in. Changed me. See the manipulation now. Mom's mine. Manipulation. Mirror to my gaslight days. Good. Apply it. Silence stretched. Baristas calling orders. Then, the money. I transferred what I could. To the foundation. Anonymously. Check later confirmed. 50K. Restitution's crumb. Why? Redemption. Eyes met. Vulnerable real? And you. Still love. Stop. Hand up. Love's not a get-out-of-jail card. He deflated. Fair. But if. No ifs. Rose. Cup half full. Stay clean, Tyler. Or next time, no mercy. Outside, leaves swirled vortex. He followed to my car. Dakota, wait. Hesitation's edge. His hand on arm, gentle. Old spark flickered, treacherous. Controversial. Pull away clean, or indulge the echo. Pull. Door slam. Engine roar. Rear view. Him shrinking, alone. November elections buzzed. Alderman indicted. Headlines tying back to Vinny's web. My name surfaced. The woman who cracked it. Controversy reignited. Op-eds decrying amateur sleuths undermining justice. Others crowning me, Midwest Aaron Brockovich. I ignored, focusing inward. Therapy sessions with a shrink in Ukrainian village, unpacking the grave's weight. Rebirth trauma, she called it. Flashbacks to the gun's kiss, betrayal's blade. Progress, naming the fear, not fleeing. Thanksgiving solo, feast for one, faux simmered slow from dad's recipe, Netflix true crime irony. Phone silent, foundation closed for holiday. But midnight knock, security alert. Tyler, rain-soaked, pie in hand. Pumpkin, from the bakery you liked. Boundaries, blurred. Go home. Home's halfway house. Let me in. Just eat. Controversial mercy. Door cracked, pie sliced. Kitchen table, fork scraping plate. Talk turned tentative. Prison tales, his gig at a temp agency. Filing clerk. Humbling. Humble suits. Half smile. Then, I saw your exhibit. The red one. Rage and Rebirth. Bought it. Exhibit. My Logan Square show, small but sold out. The piece, Abstract Fury, title Second Skin. Stalker much. Admirer. Grin, dimples faint. Spark jumped. Dangerous. Post pie. Hug goodbye turned linger. Lips brushed cheek. Then corner mouth. Pull back? No. Leaned in. Controversial fire. Bedroom shadows danced. Bodies remembered rhythms. Urgent. Reclaiming. Dawn light filtered lace curtains. Regret brewed with coffee. Mistake. I murmured, sheets tangled. Or restart. He propped on elbow, hopeful. Restart. The dream I'd buried. But phone buzzed. Mia, Tyler's parole officer called. Violation. Contact breach. Violation. My doing. Out. Now. He dressed frantic. Dakota. Go. Before I call it in. Door click. Silence deafened. Mia arrived noon. Fury etched. What the hell? He's manipulative gold. I know. Tears hot. Slipped. Get the order. Hard line. Order filed. Tyler vanished. Parole revoked. Back inside 90 days. Letter followed. Worth the risk. Love endures. Endures. Poison ivy. Winter gripped tight. Holidays a blur of foundation events. Carols clashing with inner storm. New Year's Eve. Lakefront party. Fireworks bursting over Blackwater. Champagne fizz. Kiss at midnight. The chef. Solid. No echoes. Happy, he asked. Happier. Truth. Spring equinox thawed resolve. Tyler's full release came quiet. No fanfare. Whispers. He moved to Milwaukee. Consulting gig. Clean? Doubtful. Controversial decision crystallized. Confront the root. Drove north. Lakeside bars fogging memory. Found him at a dive. Pool cue in hand. Laugh forced. Dakota. Talk. Booth dim. Beers sweating. Why come back? Answers. Voice steady. The gun. Your idea or hers? Hesitate. Hers. But I loaded it. Truth's blade. And the intern? Still. Ended. Clean. Proof. Phone slid. Texts deleted. Logs clear. Satisfied? No. Stood. But free. Outside. Cherry blossoms shedding pink snow. Milwaukee's hum distant. Back in Chicago. Loft unpacked. Pilsen's murals vibrant walls. Foundation expanded. Satellite in Seattle. Mom's city. Letter to her. Fire burns. Visit? Reply, yes. Summer solstice gala. Rooftop at 360 Chicago. City sprawl at feet. Speech soared. Betrayal forges. Doesn't break. Donors toasted. Chef at arm. Steady. But twist shadow. Anonymous tip to Mia. Tyler's relapse. New scam brewing. Feds looped. Sting set. July heat wave. Warehouse sting. Echo of docks. Tyler cuffed again. Eyes on me in the raid's glare. You. Justice. No tears. Trial swift. Fraud 5 years. His statement. She gave chances. I took bullets. Courtroom empty of allies. Evelyn's letters from Alderson. Proud of you? No. But understand. Understand. The grace I denied. Fall harvest. Mom visited. Yoga lines faded. Eyes dads. Stronger than me, Coda. Together, we toured foundation sites. Kids thriving, bridges built. Happy ending? She asked, foe steaming between us. Reborn one. Smile true. Tyler's last appeal denied. Silence fell. I painted canvases of light, not shadow. Chef proposed over dim sum. Yes, rings simple. Controversial close. Mercy's cost, justice's toll. But in America's tense forge, betrayals hammered, secrets smelted. I emerged. Dakota and Gwen Hayes, unchained. Inheritance? Not cash, but self. And that, Dad would have toasted. Echoes fade, reckoning one.